Mark, we are here at your amazing Grill Dads, what you call his kitchen.
This is the Grill Dads Grilling Central.
Grilling
Central.
headquarters. Love it. Okay, and we are so lucky to have you here in Boise, but you happen to be a part of a dynamic barbecuing, grilling, I don't know, just steak master duo, if you will, called the Grill Dads, which people can watch on Food Network.
We launched through a show called Guy's Big Project, which we won, and then we've done a couple seasons of our own show, and yeah, it's a little bit crazy how that happens.
Here's the big news right now. You guys have a new cookbook coming out.
Yes.
So tell us really quick about that, and then we're going to focus on this incredible chunk of meat right here.
So this, our book is called The Best Grilling Cookbook Ever Written by Two Idiots. And when the publisher agreed to that title, we knew we found the people that we should make a book with. We don't have a culinary background. We didn't go to culinary school. We don't have any James Beard Awards. We haven't worked in any fancy restaurants. And so when people see us cook something, we want them to say, if those two idiots can do it, I can do it.
Right now you're going to make a recipe from your cookbook, and this looks amazing already, and it's raw. So what are we doing with it today?
Okay, this is a porterhouse. So, and the porterhouse has a T-bone shape in the middle here, and you can actually see this is two classic American steaks put together. This is a New York strip steak, and this is a filet mignon or a beef tenderloin, right? And if this beef tenderloin is a lot smaller like that, then this would be called a T-bone instead of a porterhouse. There's a few things that you need to do to make a great steak. People always ask us, why does a steak at home not taste as good as a restaurant? There's a few things. The first thing is seasoning before and after. The other thing is finishing with fresh fat and herbs, and that's a maitre d' butter. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna salt this up, get it ready to go on, and then we'll make our maitre d' butter and put that in the fridge while we cook the steak.
Sounds good, let's do it.
Every single restaurant you go into in the kitchen is kosher salt. You do kosher salt before you cook, flaky salt after you cook, right? So the kosher salt is great because the salinity is low. So this is 1/4 as salty as iodized table salt. So you can aggressively salt on there and get good coverage, and you're not gonna turn this thing into a salt lick. The other thing is the shape of this salt allows it to dissolve very easily, so it gets absorbed into the meat way further than iodized salt. A steak this big, you want it to be almost room temperature.
Okay.
So we took this out 2 hours ago. Because if you try and cook a very cold steak, that's when you get a gray ring of overdone on the outside and rare in the middle. So compound butter is butter that has salt, and it usually has some sort of herb, right? So what we're gonna do, we have some parsley here. We're gonna dump this all in. You wanna be pretty aggressive. You're gonna, and then we're gonna do a squeeze of lemon juice here.
Mustard. Dijon mustard.
It'll stay in the fridge for a couple weeks or in the freezer for, months, I would say.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna cook this at 250 degrees until it hits about 120, 122. We're gonna take it out, we're gonna let it rest. This is the great thing, if you have people coming over, it can rest for an hour. It can just sit there. And then you sear it right before you eat it, and then you don't have to let it rest again, and you slice it and you go.
Nice.
All we want to do when we sear it is get color on the outside. We do not want anything to do with more cooking of the steak. So we're gonna let it rest. Once the temperature starts to drop, we can go on there. That is a good sound.
Hear that, yeah.
So I'm pressing down on it a little bit. Again, it's rested. You're not gonna squeeze the juices out of it. We're pressing down on it because we want to get really good contact and get everything flat and as even to the fire as we can. So 2 to 3 minutes is probably how long that'll take.
And how do you know when to rotate? You just gut?
Yeah.
Smell, sound?
Ooh, that smoke is not a bad thing there.
That is so, it's just like falling off.
There's that side. All right. We don't want to do the slices too petite. We want people to almost feel like they're getting a mini steak here. Tip these back a little bit just so people are certain that you cooked it perfectly. So again, you want to season at the end. We have seasoning because that's salted butter and herbs, but we are still going to do a little bit of flaky salt. Here you go.
All right, here we go. Oh my God.
Is that too salty?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
No, that is perfect.